Hello, welcome to the Capitol Theatre and Capitol Connects. Join us as we connect artists, business, and our community.
Hello, I'm Susan Ferley, Artistic Director at the Capitol Theatre in Port Hope. And with March 8th being International Women's Day, we thought we would offer a series of short 10-minute interviews with women artists. So this is for you. Enjoy. Today I'm chatting with Anna Treusch. Anna's a theatre designer, and audiences here in Port Hope will know her work because she designed the set for our production of $1 Million Quartet. So that was way back in 2019. Hi, Anna, how are you?
I'm good. Hi.
Reflecting back to the days pre-COVID, right?
Oh. Yes, it feels like so long ago.
No, that's the thing. I mean, you go, oh, that's 2 years. Usually that feels close, but it's like we've been living endlessly challenged and different lives. Very different. Yeah.
Very different. Yeah. Big adjustment.
Since we're celebrating women in the arts, are there women who've inspired you? Either the woman has inspired you, the woman artist has inspired you as an artist, or perhaps it's their work, that's inspired you. So thoughts on that?
Yeah, I had a hard time figuring this one out because there's actually so many women that I've taken inspiration from throughout the years. So for me, I'm going to answer it a bit more broadly. I think I'm inspired by any woman that is in a management or a leader position in general, because, my hat off to anybody that can run a company or produce a show. That's really the hard job, writing grants, connecting with audiences. And so for me, when I see someone producing, I just really respect that role. And as well, women directors. So for me, I've gotten opportunities to work with a few that stand out, are like Diana Bentley is a producer, Amanda Smith, Carly Chamberlain, Tanisha Tate. Like, these are women that keep putting themselves out there and keep producing, even though jobs are not always easy to come by, and they have to sort of, keep earning that position.
Was there, when you were starting out as, I don't know, you sort of wear many hats for me as an artist, but also as a theater artist. Was there anyone who gave you advice that's proven valuable over the years?
Yeah. So when I was a young designer in university, I got to meet Camila Koo. So she's an amazing Canadian designer, and she's given me a lot of advice. So, there's many things that I hear in my head from her as I go through my career. But the one thing that really stands out to me is that she didn't vocally give me advice, but something I took from observing her is she took the time to get to know everybody on her team. And the team might be management, might be technical staff, it might be the cleaning staff. Like, it's everybody that is connected to the show and helps work to make the show come to be. She knew their name. She took the time to get to know them and really brought them into the process of design. So that was something that was really special to me about making a community and building the community, and how it can serve your work in general.
Right. Well, and it's interesting you reflecting on that and Cammie's role, because I see that in you. You're in a creative space with other theater artists. So, yay.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
And something like, it's interesting thinking about advice, because the first thing that popped into my head was actually advice that I don't use anymore. So I had a teacher in university tell me, don't whine. And it really struck me when I was younger. I was really affected by it. And then throughout my career, I've sort of been able to realize that actually I wasn't whining. I was stating a boundary or an issue I had. And so it's taken me time to sort of like find my own voice.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes people can give you advice that just feels wrong. And that one felt wrong.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's even, for me, it's how styles of working change.
Mm.
How I direct has changed. And certainly that is very much a result of feminism and looking at less hierarchical way of working and more collaborative is
Yeah.
one of the things that certainly has impacted how I have changed within my practice. If you were to give advice, to a young designer or a young artist, what advice would you give?
I think my biggest piece of advice would be to get yourself mentors, specifically many mentors. Collect as many as you can. There's so much knowledge and people who have come before you, who have already, dug this path for you. But at the same time, my huge piece of advice is that you're still your own guide. So, I have some amazing young assistants that I've gotten to work with, and I can give them advice, but I know that the future of their career or theater or art in general is going to be different than the one that I have gone through. So they're going to have to bring something new to the table in general. So that's my biggest piece of advice. I've gotten so much out of my mentors. Thank you. But I still have to remember that I am my own person.
Yes, right. Within different circumstances. And
Yeah.
that's the case certainly now.
Yeah.
Was there a moment, and there may have been endless moments, but when you sort of went, yes, this is what I should be doing. This is where I belong. So
Yeah. I mean, certainly there's been a few moments. I've been lucky enough to feel that a few times. But there was one moment when I was in my early 20s. I was in a car with my ex-partner, and I got a phone call from, I think it was a technical director or someone who was having a problem with the show that I was designing. And there was a series of issues. And I remember being able to talk them through all the problems and come up with many different solutions for them. And, I hung up the phone, and, my ex looked at me and said, "How did you know that?" And I was like, I don't know. I just did. And that's when I had a strong feeling of like, some of that was experience and some of it was just gut. But I think solving the problems and coming up with solutions was so satisfying to me that I felt really at home. Yeah. So anytime I'm faced with something that's very difficult and needs a solution, and I can get to that solution, it's a hugely satisfying feeling.
Yeah, these discussions have been so inspiring to me too, right? So great. Now, COVID has certainly presented challenges.
The fact that we're doing this via video.
I know, not going for a coffee or a tea,
Yeah.
having a visit and a catch up. So there have been challenges, but have there been positives that have come out of this time, whether it's, being on one's own or in isolation? What things have come out of it in a positive way?
Well, it's been a sort of forced time off. It's been a forced time to go into oneself. Usually with theater, we sort of stack our projects on top of each other. So we're always going. It's a very busy life. So this is really the only time in 15 years that I've ever had any chance to repose and sort of reflect and think. And so from that, I definitely have had time to think about my own practice, my own priorities, what I want from my career, what I want as a woman, what I want for the future. And some of it has brought issues out that I see in the industry that I hope can be corrected when we get back to it in person. And some of it has been a chance for me to explore other things I love, like illustration and fine art, and sort of reconnect with my practice of doing those things. So for me, it's been a gift a little bit of being able to have the time to actually learn the skills that I wanted to learn for a few years, and also put myself out there in a completely different way.
I know, like just reflecting on the last year, you're someone I think of when the word pivot comes. Because, we've chatted about your cartooning, playing with image and ideas, and a pandemic in a playful way.
Yeah.
And then also I received your lovely card that you'd created. I have it here because I love it. Art is essential, and
Yeah,
I love it.
that's so sweet. This is one of my top selling one. But they're fun. They bring me a lot of joy to make.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of like reconnecting with sort of your impulse to create. My impulse as a theater artist is actually not to put a show on Zoom. I'm not, that's just not my gut reaction, but my reaction is to wake up every day and draw something. So it's forced me to continue that practice, and I thought I would just share it. And so I've been posting.
Great. It's great. Well, thank you so much. I celebrate you as an artist and a theater artist. So
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to chat.
Thanks, Susan. I celebrate you as well.